Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the phone lines where we have John Crump. You know John Crump is a writer over at AmmoLand. John's the real deal, and John is now the real deal as he is he's the individual plaintiff listed on the Virginia lawsuit that was filed today. John, welcome into the program, brother, and thank you very much for calling in. Great to have you here, man, and congratulations. The cavalry's behind you, brother. Talk to us. What's going on? Fill us in.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Yeah, it's been crazy here in Virginia, and like I always like to say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And as being a native-born Virginian, I have to fight back against these tyrannical, draconian laws.
John, where are you from in Virginia? I know that state very well. I don't know if you know this about me, but I graduated from Radford University. I lived in Richmond, Midlothian, Reston, Herndon, and Virginia Beach. My sister lives up in Northern Virginia. I know the state well, and I'm very saddened to see what's happened to beloved Virginia, to the Commonwealth. I'm sick to my stomach over it, in fact. So people like you are taking a stand. Where are you from in Virginia?
Yeah, I grew up, and I still live in Loudoun County.
Okay.
I grew up in Sterling and live in Ashburn.
Yeah, all right. Well,
so I'm all the way up in Northern Virginia, in the heart of the beast.
Loudoun County. So, Paul, feel free to jump in at any time. Loudoun County is where all of the nonsense occurs, folks. John, has there been any? Let's talk a little bit about the gerrymandering before we get into some of the nuts and bolts of the case. Now that it's filed, we can talk about it because it is public record. But has there, since the gerrymandering was wiped out by the Supreme Court, how is Loudoun County itself handling that? Because that is a far, far left county you're in.
Yeah, it is a far, far left county. Most of my friends group and the people that I deal with are not far leftist. Well, like I send my kids to private school, like religious private school and stuff like that.
Smart move.
So, yeah, but there is a lot of people in Loudoun County that are like leftist, especially where I live at in Ashburn, because Ashburn is liberal, that aren't too happy with what the Supreme Court has done, but they broke the Virginia Constitution. They didn't follow the Constitution, so what happened is the right thing.
So let's go, Paul. I'm interested to ask a couple of these questions. I want you to jump in, though, so let me get started. How long has this suit been planned? Knowing the answer in advance myself, tell people, how long has this been planned?
Well, once the election happened and we saw who won when Spanberger won, we knew exactly what was going to come down. So the planning of the lawsuit started all the way back probably right after the election day, because we knew it was going to come down.
Right.
We were just waiting. So we didn't have any specifics, but we knew that there was going to be something bad. Then once we saw the bill, the planning started a little bit more, and we were ready to file. I mean, if she would have signed it, the day that she would have signed it, we were ready to file at that point. But she delayed it by sending it back down to the legislature, which I think was a delay tactic, and it came back up. And she waited and waited and waited to sign it, and when she finally signed it, it was go time.
Were you under any illusion that she might not have, on the heels of Harmeet Dillon's threat to bring the U.S. DOJ Civil Rights Division in, were you under any illusion whatsoever that it was possible she did this in an effort to not only delay but possibly not sign the bill or ask for changes that she knew might not have happened? Or were you just you already knew that it was a done deal?
I already knew. She just waited to sign the bill to get it closer to July 1st. Mm-hmm. The only thing that was in my mind that she might have been doing is waiting out the 30 days and letting it just go into effect. Because in Virginia, if she doesn't sign it, it still goes into effect after 30 days.
Okay. So this is July 1, it goes into effect. Paul, jump in, would you?
Sure. And what you just said, John, will put me in mind of European politics. If you guys have ever followed European politics, I'm sure you guys have. I have my whole life. Such and such party wins in Italy or wins in Great Britain or whatever, and then everything changes. The way the government behaves and the laws, and from a United States standpoint, rights are not supposed to be linked to elections. You see, that makes us, if we allow our rights to be eroded or removed or taken away based on who wins the big chair, we're no different than Italy or France or Germany or Great Britain. We're no different than any of those countries. And we're supposed to be different. That's the whole point. The whole point, I mean, in the Bill of Rights, where are the guarantees to vote?
Yeah, we have a Bill of Rights. We don't have a Bill of Wants.
Or a Bill of Needs.
It's not a bill of, or suggestions or what have you. And, the biggest problem that we have as a nation is that we are in a position where the people are unwilling to be uncomfortable. They're unwilling to take a stand. And so we're you guys know this as well as I do, as far as the gun rights movement, we're always on the defensive.
We seem to be.
We wait until we're attacked and then we defend.
Yeah, that goes back to our statements earlier, Paul, when I was asking about, do we let this happen? Yes, we've spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits, John, as you're very well aware about. You've covered them all over the years. But for crying out loud, that's still on the defensive because our lawsuits are reactionary to something that's happened that we didn't want to happen in the first place, which is why we had to sue. And John, you made that very clear when you just said we were ready on day one. I'm curious, what made you the ideal plaintiff here? How was that decided? Can you give any of that info up? Because it's great to have your name on the suit.
Yeah, well, David Brown contacted me. I talked to David Brown a lot. He is a VCDL attorney. I'm also very close to Rob Olson, who is a DOA attorney. He's like one of my best friends. So I was like, I'm gonna sue myself. I'm gonna fund it myself and everything else. And they were like, oh, why don't you just join us and do it? I was like, all right.
Yeah.
That saves me some money.
Well, guys, I always say, cavalry's coming, Paul. The cavalry, the guy leading the charge is on the phone with us right now. We're proud of you, man, and we're very thankful that your name is on this. Now, I will make a prediction here, which is hard to do when it comes to courts, but I think we have, Paul, I think you'll agree with me, we have history, we have precedent on our side. We have Heller, your own lawsuit quotes both Heller and Bruin. We know this isn't going to fly. And we have recent statements from Harmeet Dillon, who seemed to know something when she said SCOTUS was going to take one of these cases and rule that AR-15 bans are, in fact, unconstitutional.